Hi, everyone. Jean Roberts here. And you can look at my other videos that I have done for my introduction if you are new here. And if you're not new here, well, both for the people who are new and the ones that are coming in, because I can see you coming. Welcome to my channel. And I really encourage you to subscribe and to like this channel. I'm in a practice place and I'm going to be doing these series for, well, 100 days. I'm putting it out here. And so this is just me practicing being on YouTube. Nothing serious. Don't take it too serious. Don't judge me too hard. But if you want to, you go ahead and do that. I cannot stop that. But here I am today, and I am at the ashram. This is where I left off before. So here I am at the ashram, and I'm speaking on things that I have learned my time in the yoga development program at the Yoshoda Ashram. And so, recapping of some of the things that I've learned, if you haven't been here before, I am a certified yoga teacher. So, I learned to do yoga and to teach yoga. I've learned meditation and prayer, I've learned chanting, self inquiry, daily reflection. Um, how to live in community, deep connection to myself and others, the divine light invocation. My last video, I give you a whole description and a actually system of how to do the divine light invocation. And I also talked a lot about studying your mind, which is watching your mind and being aware of your mind. Some of the other things that I have learned and take away from the ashram is stillness. Yeah, let's take a moment to be still. I've learned stillness, to be with what is, to be with what was, and to be with what's coming. We may know what has gone before, and what is the present. And we really do not know what is coming. We may have some ideas, but we don't really know, what the future holds. So the present moment is where we live. And you might be surprised to find out that your past is not really in your past. Your past is kind of like in your future. That is something else I learned from a different program, but I'm not going to get into it here. I'm just going to talk about a little bit about stillness and how you can cultivate stillness in your life. It's not as hard as we think. Part of being still, you can actually do the mind exercise. You can do the watching the mind exercise to be still. You can meditate to be still, and you can pray. And meditation do not have to be an hour long in an entire room like Wayne Dyer. Have I told you guys my Wayne Dyer story? I've always, always, years ago, I wanted to be like Wayne Dyer. I wanted to have an entire room in my house dedicated to only meditation. And if you heard it before, I recommend you can kind of fast forward. But if you haven't heard it, Wayne Dyer was this real spiritual guru. And I recommend Googling him because, yeah, he is a lot. He was all over the internet in the earlier days of the internet. And he wrote many books. And I'm sure I have mentioned some of his books before. If I haven't, then you Googled Wayne Dyer. But he used to have an entire room for meditation. And when he writes, he used to lock himself up there and lie around and meditate. And I wanted one of that for myself. And one day, while I was going through my divorce, I realized that, you know what? I don't need an entire room. I don't know why he came up with that. Who needs an entire room to meditate? You can go for a walk outside and meditate. You can go and stand by a tree and meditate. You can sit by a river and do nothing and ask the river for help. You can actually cry by the river if you want to. Those are things that I have done in my life. I have spoken to trees, I've spoken to rivers, I've spoken to ocean, and I've spoken to the mountain, to the universe. All of that is really, being still, being in yourself. And maybe people might say you're crazy. Let them, right? Let them. What are you going to do? You have to do you. So being still, you can walk, you can move, you can do move and meditation and walk and still be still in your mind, because the idea of being still is really creating a practice that you can be still in your mind. So telling you the Devo story, one day, in my healing journey, while I was going through my healing journey on my divorce, I was lying in bed and I put on Louise Hayes. And you know what she said? Well, she's a woman, so you know what she said. She said, "You don't have to leave your bed, right? You don't have to leave your bed to meditate or to wake up and be still. You can lie right there in your bed and you can listen to Louise Hayes, which I did, or you can lie still in your bed and listen to yourself. Yeah, just listen to yourself. What is happening? What negative things that show up every morning for you? If you like me, yeah, I am on this earth to really manage my mind. And if you can do that, life would not be as hard as it is. Life would not be as challenging as it is if you learn to manage your mind. And as I mentioned before, you can start by sitting quietly for 5 minutes and watching your mind. That would bring true awareness to you. Okay? So now I just lie in my bed and meditate there, or listen to myself, or listen to Louis Hayes, or listen to any one of those gurus that I love that says amazing things in the morning time. Please, whatever works for you. These are the things that work for me. Now, I also learned about the divine feminine, and I think I mentioned that before, Tara, Kuang Yin, um, Saraswati, all the Mary, for the people who don't know about Kuang Yin and deity and all these Asian um, god and goddesses, I'm sure you know about Mary. You can turn to Mary Magdalene. You can turn to, Mary, um, Jesus, Mary, I think was she, anyway, she was a disciple of God. She was a disciple of Jesus. And I recommend reading anything on Mary or Mary Magdalene. If you are in the Christianity side of things, here I'm speaking on eliminating the middleman. Instead of having a pastor tell you how the Bible goes, read the Bible yourself and you can actually interpret it on your own, believe it or not. You can pick a scripture and walk with that. So the divine feminine is really coming into your, I guess, the energy of your kundalini, the energy of your chakras, and embodying that, right? And that may not be how you defined divine feminine, but that's how I defined it. Showing up in my own natural state, my own natural beauty, without makeup, without anything on my lip. Well, I did put a little bit of a lip balm just for you guys today. My hair, well, yeah, my hair is my hair, and I am embracing that shit. You should too. And mentioned before, I did learn a lot about the light and what that can do for you as a person. You can invite it in with the divine light invocation. Personal growth. Wow. Personal growth. I don't even know how to discuss my own personal growth because before going to the ashram, I would be upset if I'm standing in a line at the grocery store and the person in front of me is having a conversation with the clerk, the checkout person, and I'm standing there waiting. I used to lose my shit. I used to lose my mind, the things that used to make me angry, the things that used to take me out of the game, so to speak. Those things don't no longer make me angry. I can stand in a grocery line now and I can stand there for an hour and it wouldn't even piss me off. I actually allow people to go ahead of me. You know, when I'm in a grocery line, I'm not in a hurry. And I know sometimes we are in a hurry and we do get upset, but just think about how long that takes you out of the game. Maybe when you're standing in that line, you can take the opportunity to watch your mind, see what comes up, because that's what I learned to do. That's my personal growth. I learn to see what comes when I'm about to be pissed off or when something that used to piss me off arrive and I'm like, oh, I see you. I don't need to be impatient. I don't need to be in a hurry. I don't need to be anywhere because I'm right here in this line and I'm waiting. So that is just a tip for you. And as you can tell, I'll be giving you a lot of tips here. And yes, I'm looking down and I'm looking at my book, right? Because I have it. Well, I don't want to run on, which I tend to do from time to time, and people might tell you that. So, selfless service. And what is selfless service? Selfless service is giving back. And what I've learned recently that giving back could be a smile, yeah, to that person on the street. You can help someone with their bag. You can bring a cake to your neighbor. You could go out and volunteer because that's what selfless service is, volunteering. It's at the ashram, it's called kama yoga. Let me tell you something. Kama yoga at the ashram is work. It is hard work. Nobody's paying you for those work. You work, you show up every day and you choose a job and you do it. And while you do it, you listen to your mind, you listen to what is going on. So, in a way, you are always in the space of yoga. Let me tell you something, yoga is a beautiful thing. It creates space in every muscles in your body, in the cells in your body. I am now back to doing my practice, and I guess it shows. Um, Also, inner wisdom. Oh my God, you learn so much about yourself. And here I am sharing some of that with you. Though, just giving you all the beautiful things that I learned at the ashram. And I encourage you to go for a weekend, go for a personal retreat because they have that as well. Go for a yoga retreat, go for do the development course. It would change your life inside and out, inside and outside. It would change your life. It helped me a lot going through my divorce. It helped me a lot the way I show up with my family. It helps me the way I show up with my friends. It helps me the way I show up with myself. It helps me to tap into that spiritual aspect of myself without thinking that I have to have an entire room to meditate. So it is very, very helpful. And I've learned to trust. I learned to trust my own intuition. I learned to trust my own self. I learned to trust the things that I'm doing, the decision that I'm making, and also purpose. What is your purpose? What is your Dharma? Why are you here? Listen, I wrote that down, and sometimes we are multi purpose people, but because we are told so often that we need to find one purpose, that one thing, and stay with it, we sometimes get tripped up. We sometimes find it very, very hard to find our purpose because we like more than one thing. I love to travel. I love adventure. I love discovering new things. I love reading. I love giving people advice. I think that's my purpose in life, giving advice. So if you need some advice, double zero, call Jean and tell me your problem. Maybe I can help, or maybe I can help you to have your own answers to your problem, because that's the kind of advice I give. How can you find your answer to your own question with me as your guide? So I totally invite you, if you really want to get onto your spiritual journey, or if you need life coaching, or just to have a chat, or whatever it is that is going on in your life. You're in a breakdown, you're in a breakthrough, you're burnt out. I'm available. Give me a call. And so trying to find this purpose for me was very challenging. But I come to realize that my voice is my purpose. God has given me this voice. And I've been told a million times, if I have a dollar for the amount of time that I've been told that I talk too much, that I should shut up, that I should be quiet, that I should be seen and not heard. If I have a dollar for the amount of time that I've been told that, I would be a billionaire, honestly. I have quiet my voice. I have sit on my voice. I have ignored my voice, not only in speaking, but in the wisdom that I have within, and I have to share, and I want to share that with you. So don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to come back and see my next video. And I love you guys. And the thing that I want to leave you with today is to do less, but be more.